Hello and what's good, and welcome to Brand News, where hip-hop has a new direction, and our weekend BNz World Report. I'm Christopher Martin, better known as Play, and I'm going to bring you a couple of the recent stories from the mini we feature Monday through Friday in our News to Know section here at brandnews.com about individuals and events making a difference around the globe. On behalf of yours truly and Team BNz, we want to thank you all for giving us the awesome ideas and inspiration, positive inspiration, through our the messages you send us through our via email, Facebook, MySpace, and Twitter pages about what we provide here at Brand News. At the top of this show, we kicked it off with the one and only Heavy D and the Boyz. It's from my personal private archive collection of some very special times that myself, Kid, DJ Wiz, and many others have shared with our good friend and comrades in the field of hip-hop entertainment. I'm going to be showing you a lot more, so don't go anywhere. It's Heavy D and the Boyz. Our first News to Know story comes from the Washington Post, and it reads, ladies and gentlemen, the birthplace of hip-hop gets a new lease on life. After a long struggle, ownership of a Bronx building known as the birthplace of hip-hop, which had fallen into neglect and foreclosure, was taken over on Monday by a group that specializes in preserving working-class housing. The building at 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Morris Heights neighborhood was, in the early 1970s, the home of DJ Kool Herc, whose community room parties was pivotal to the early development of hip-hop. But in recent years, the 102-unit complex had become a symbol for aggressive investment practices and property neglect, so much so that Senator Charles E. Schumer recently called it the birthplace of predatory equity. On Monday, Workforce Housing Advisors, a group focused on salvaging working-class housing in buildings that have been over-leveraged, became the owners of the building. In 2010, it bought the building's mortgage for $6.2 million with the help of the city, and because no bidders came forth on Monday, the building was all theirs. Several residents, accompanied by an advocacy group that supported them through a long struggle, were at the state Supreme Court in the Bronx on Monday and broke into cheers and hallelujahs when the auctioneer announced that no bidders had registered. Geraldine Davis, 72, a resident of the building for 37 years, hugged her neighbors and dried a few tears. She said, "I always thought positive. We prayed so hard and worked so much to save this building." I'm truly thankful to her and everybody else that was involved, because I recently toured the Bronx and my heart was almost broken when I saw what had become of the historical disco fever that has to be considered hip-hop's Cotton Club, or maybe even the Apollo is no longer. We have to preserve some of this history, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm truly thankful that the birthplace has been saved. You can read more about this through our News to Know section at brandnews.com. Now more of my friend, Heavy D.
I want to talk to y'all for a little bit. I've been there a couple times before, and I never really get a chance to talk to everybody. And people want to get to know me and what Heavy D is all about and how I'm living. But I want to take this time out to thank everybody here tonight, personally, for helping me become what I am today. And on behalf of me, G-Wiz, T-Roy, DJ AF, we just want to say that we love you, because if it wasn't for you, there would be no Heavy D.
Now, our next story in the News to Know section at brandnews.com comes from the American Friends Service Committee, and it reads, Bloods and Crips find common cause in Occupy Atlanta. Sherrod Britton, 29, was initiated into the Bloods when he was 18 years old. He joined because he felt lost and wanted to be a part of something. Sherrod was walking down Peachtree Street past Troy Davis 3 weeks ago, and he saw all the tents. I wanted to know what was going on, so I stopped by, and I haven't left since, said Sherrod. Sherrod expressed feeling a deep connection to the message and the process of Occupy Atlanta. I stayed for the common cause, speaking for the people. I felt strongly that we have the right to jobs, health care, and affordable higher education, he says. Around the same day Sherrod showed up, Shubaka Ade Guillory, 20 years old, saw the story in the news about Occupy Atlanta, and he had to see it for himself. Shabaka and Sherrod both found a common cause in Occupy Atlanta, and they also share another commonality in their narrative. Shabaka was recruited into the Crips when he was 14 years old. He says, my parents were divorced, grandfather had passed away, and I was having a lot of problems in school, and I was just really confused at that time of my life. On Shabaka's first day at Occupy Atlanta, he approached a group of folks doing an impromptu freestyle session, and he did see Sherrod. I saw him in the park, saw his colors, and there was no mean mug or rivalry because we realized what's happening here is so much bigger than gang rivalry, stated Shabaka. Shabaka added, now we're the best of friends. And that's what we're talking about here at Brand News, and that's what we want to support, those kind of stories. Now on to another good story from Team BNz member Jabari Payne, who was hanging out with the cast and crew of Fabulation on the campus of Florida A&M University. It's a powerful story. It encourages me maybe to get back into theater one day. Yo, Jabari, what's good with you?
This is Chelsea Williams, and I play Undine Barnes in Fabulation, or the Re-Education of Undine. Undine Barnes is this well-to-do African-American business owner. She has everything she wants in life, her own money, her own business, and then it is all promptly taken away from her by her husband, who steals all of her money, leaving her pregnant and forcing her to move back with her family in the Brooklyn projects.
I do it, Keith Oliver, a graduated theater performance major here at Florida A&M University. Right now I'm getting into my first costume for Fabulation, or the Re-Education of Undine. I play a guy named Richard. He's an accountant, Harvard MBA grad, as you can see. And I also play a person named Guy. I could have said a guy named Guy, but that would have been confusing. But yeah, so Fabulation. It's a really interesting show. Hope you guys come out and see it. You know, as you can see, we got my man over here, Hervé. You know, he doing this thing back there.
I'm Martinez Johnson, a first-year theater major here at Florida A&M University. Right now, we're in the midst of all the craziness. We are in the dressing room, getting ready to go on set for Fabulation, or the Re-Education of Undine. The role I play in Fabulation is Flo. Flo is the brother of the main character, Undine. I'm a kind of Afrocentric hipster, but you know, I'm a little upset that my sister had to, you know, disown her family and forget who she was in order to become who she wanted to be. And she finally came home, so it's a lot of tension, but it's going to be a great show. You know, tell a friend, come out and check us out.
One of the things that we're doing with this show that's really exciting for us is our scene designer, who is Ruben Arana, is using projections, because the show has, I think, 16 scenes. It has kind of a movie effect in that they flow from one into the other, and they still require set pieces. So instead, we have a backdrop with projections, and that's been exciting for us to do, because this is the first time we've done that with the show here at the Essential Theater.
For more information about this story and others, go to brandnews.com.
Excellent work, Jabari. I'm so proud of Team BNz here, man. There's no words to express it. But one of our special features at BrandNews.com is our What's Good From You channel, where we find positive, inspiring videos from off the internet, and we show them to you. And this week we want to feature Minister Paul Scott, who has something very important to say, and I believe is something worth listening to. He talks about the hip-hop Occupy movement and how it relates to the Wall Street Occupy movement. I think you need to check this out. We posted up on Monday, either tomorrow or today, whenever you choose to see it. Right now, I want to show you a brief peek at a series we've been working on the campus of Florida A&M University, in which we intimately talk to and celebrate the lives of hip-hop icons and pioneers that have made a difference, not only in the culture, not only in the world, but in the lives of many, for the better. This particular guest, our first artist on the show, I think you'll recognize. Check out the Architects of Hip Hop. Emerging during hip-hop's massive creative expansion of the late 80s, Big Daddy Kane possessed a prestigious rhyming technique honed from numerous b-boy battles and could also be an Afrocentric conscious voice inspired by the philosophy of the Nation of Islam's 5% school. Today, if you were to ask any serious rapper and lyricist who their favorite rapper is, Big Daddy Kane would automatically be in the top 10, if not 5. Today, Kane joins me and the students of Florida A&M University in the School of Journalism and Graphic Communication Studios to talk about what most do not know of his life and times in and out of the industry, because Big Daddy Kane is an architect of hip-hop. Why hip-hop?
Well, I mean, at the time, it was something new and innovative that, I guess really just, captured me in like such a soulful way. I mean, it was something that really touched the soul. And I mean, anything that happened concerning hip hop just really affected my life. So it was something I really was so interested in getting involved with.
Well, it's interesting because we teach a class here at Florida A&M University, which is Hip Hop Seminar. And the first question we ask in the beginning of the semester is, what was the very first hip-hop record or the very first rap record you ever heard? So I asked you that question. What was the very first rap record you ever heard, and how did you feel when you heard that record?
King Tim III, 1979, Fatback Man.
All right, y'all, here we go. You just clap your hands and you stomp your feet, cause you're listening to the sound of the show shot beat. I'm the K-I-N-G, the T-I-M, King Tim III, and I am him, just me, Fatback, and the crew. We're doing it all just for you. We're strong as an ox and tall as a tree. We can rock it so viciously. We throw the highs in your eyes, the bass in your face. We're the funk machines that rock the human race. Skate down, boogie shot. Come on, girl, let's do the rock. Slam, dunk, do the jerk. Let me see your body work.
Yeah, I mean, I remember as a kid, hearing it playing, and I'm like trying to explain, like, no, I don't mean somebody rapping. It's a song. It's a real song playing on the radio.
Where did you grow up? Tell us about how it was.
I'm from Brooklyn. So as far as it went with hip hop, you heard rappers at the Park Jam or block parties or a house party. Mm-hmm. Whenever they have a block party, and the DJ would start cutting up Love Is the Message, Got to Be Real, Good Times, those type of songs. Of course, cats line up wanting to get their, 5 minutes on the mic to spit some rhymes. So that was pretty much the extent of where you're going to hear it.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's our BNz World Report for this week. As you've been seeing throughout the show is excerpts from some personal footage and archives I've had. Proud and honored to be with a great friend, 2 of them, a matter of fact, in which you've been seeing Trouble T. Roy, rest in peace, God bless your soul, my friend, and Heavy D, who just recently passed it. I'm sure you're all aware of it this time. I'm on my way out to his funeral, and this is a sad time not only for myself, for Kid, the KID, and for DJ Wiz, but for so many of us who have had a ball doing what we do and doing what we did. What you've been seeing is from the Public Enemy. We've done many Public Enemy tours, and we've done many with Heavy D and the Boyz, and that was some footage I was able to dig up. Heavy and I were very close, especially at that time. I did a lot of artwork, a lot of clothing designs for Heavy. If you noticed in the Now That We Found Love, Eddie F and Glenn, G-Wiz and Heavy, you know, supported my designs with Foreplay, myself and partner at the time, Dana Dane, and it was a blessing. And I've supported things that people didn't understand that he wanted to do as far as his acting, and it paid off. Brilliant actor. Heavy and I would always talk about the barbecue. Those were the deep, private, intimate conversations we had. And what the barbecue was, I can share that with you. I'm sure it's all right with Hev, is that it was the place we'd all come to in life where it's stress-free. We're enjoying the food, the company. It's a barbecue. Men outside kicking it about sports and business and whatever. Women inside in the kitchen, and I'm not trying to be a male chauvinist or anything, but doing what women do, talk about what women do, but men loving their women, our children, our families, debt-free, and we made it. We've arrived, and Hev and I always called it the barbecue. Every time we spoke, we always said the barbecue. I'm gonna miss him, and as I'm sure all of you will. I just wanted to share a very small piece of what I have. I have a lot more, but some of it I'll keep to myself for other times, but I wanted to show you why, one of the many reasons why he was excited. I've been seeing some things with him lately, and I don't feel that they've captured just what he did to audiences. It was a party, you know. We had a party, and I just wanted to show you what thousands upon millions of people loved about him. He will be missed. I love you, Heavy, Trouble T. Roy, and good times, man, and I look forward to the barbecue up in the heavenly domain, and when it arrives here on this earth. God bless you, and all of you, be safe, behave yourselves, live long and prosper. Peace.
Question.